Welcome to the ztC Edge Initial Deployment, Registration, and Licensing module. In this module you'll learn how to deploy, register, and license your ztC Edge 200i or 250i system. The following procedure describes how to deploy a factory fresh node installed with release 3.0 or higher. If you need to deploy an existing node from a decommissioned system or a node installed with an earlier software release, you must perform a factory reset on the node before deploying it. If necessary, contact your Stratus service representative for assistance. This training module describes how to deploy a ztC Edge system. It supplements information in the deployment guide for your system. For a system with one node, if your system is already running and you need to add a second node, see the Adding a Node to a Single Node ztC Edge System training module. This is step 1 of the ztC Edge deployment guide. To deploy a ztC Edge system, connect a keyboard and monitor to the node. Next, connect the P1 network port to your existing LAN, and power on the node. In step 2, the node powers on automatically, otherwise, press the power button. The node might beep while booting, which is normal. In step 3, the ztC Edge deployment wizard appears. When the system starts up you'll first see the Stratus splash screen. There is no interaction needed at the screen. Next, you'll see the GNU Grub screen allowing you to choose which OS to boot from. The default option is Ubuntu, which is the OS you want to load. You can hit the Enter key at this point, or wait 30 seconds, and the system will boot from Ubuntu. You may stop on a screen that indicates this ztC system has failed diagnostics. This screen is expected. Simply press C to continue and you should never see this screen again. You'll stop at the Stratus ztC Edge configuration screen. Press Enter to begin deploying the system and follow the on-screen instructions. A window next appears asking you to select a keyboard map. Use the Tab, Arrow, or Escape key to select one of the following: Germany, Japan, or USA, which is the default. Once a keyboard map has been selected, use the Tab key to navigate to OK, and then press Enter. The Select a Method to configure the network address of this node screen appears. Use the Tab, Arrow, or Escape key to select one of the following: Automatic configuration via DHCP, which is the default. Select this method to configure the P1 network as a dynamic IP configuration where the IP addresses are automatically assigned. There are prerequisite network settings that must be in place for this option to work. Make sure you speak with your network administrator prior to selecting this option to ensure it will work. Select Manual Configuration, Static Address, to manually provide IP addresses for the P1 network. A dialog box appears for you to type these values, which you obtain from your network administrator. We'll select this option. The Static Network Configuration screen appears because we selected Manual Configuration on the prior screen. On this screen you must manually enter the following information, which you obtain from your network administrator. IP address for this node, subnet mask for this node, and default gateway, which is optional at this point of the deployment. If you enter invalid information, the dialog box redisplays until you enter valid information. Use the Tab key to navigate to OK, or back, and then press Enter. A confirmation dialog box appears. Use the arrow keys or the Tab key to navigate to save, the default, to save the displayed values, or to navigate to back, to return to the previous window. Then, press Enter. If you click Save, the screen will next display various progress and status messages for up to 5 minutes. The next section is step 4 of the deployment guide. Please note, this process has been expedited. It typically takes up to 5 minutes to complete. When completed, the screen displays a message to connect to an IP address in a web browser. Note this IP address because you will use it to log on to the ztC Edge console. If you cannot connect to the web browser, you may redeploy the system. To redeploy, press the 1 key. At this point, the monitor connected to the node displays no additional prompts. We'll now cover step 5 of the deployment guide. Logging into the ztC Edge console. To log on to the ztC Edge console for the first time. From a networked PC or laptop, type the IP address you received from the ztC Edge configuration screen into a browser address bar. Note, if a security message appears, proceed to the website. You can add a security exception later, to allow the site to load without the message. The logon page of the ztC Edge console appears. Enter admin for the username and admin for the password and then click Login. The Stratus ztC Edge End User License Agreement, EULA, appears. Read the EULA and then, if appropriate, click Accept to accept it. If you do not accept the EULA, deployment terminates. The configuration page appears next. Under Notifications, the box for Enable Support Notifications is checked, by default. If you do not want the ztC Edge system to send health and status notifications to your authorized Stratus service representative, uncheck the box. You can change this setting later. In the System IP box, for static system IP, enter the static system IP address that you obtained from your network administrator. Note, the system IP address is sometimes referred to as the cluster IP address. Also under System IP, select DHCP or static based on your network. For DHCP, you do not need to provide additional information. If you select static, the node 0 static IP address that you entered during deployment appears. Provide the following values if not already populated. Netmask and gateway address for node 0. Click Continue. You'll receive a warning message stating that the IP address of your system will change. Click Yes to continue. You'll lose connectivity to the ztC Edge console. If the ztC Edge console doesn't refresh, type in the new system IP address into the browser bar and log back into the console. The next screen is the license screen. We'll skip this step now and complete it in a couple of minutes. Please note, the license registration steps on this screen are the exact same as found in the product license screen within the console. The final screen of the initial login process is the account security window. For new password in the account security window, type a new password for the user admin. Type the password again and confirm password. The password must conform to the password policy of the system, which requires at least 8 characters and at least 1 uppercase character. After clicking Finish to set the password, you'll be taken back to the login screen where you will need to log in using the newly created password. If your login is successful, you'll be taken to the ztC Edge console. From the console you can administer your ztC Edge environment. The next step is step 6 of the deployment guide. Licensing the ztC Edge system. The next section discusses licensing and registering your ztC Edge system. If your ztC Edge system has internet connectivity, you can jump to the 8-minute, 24-second mark of this presentation. If your ztC Edge system does not have internet connectivity, jump to the 10-minute, 6-second mark of this presentation. We'll now see how to register a ztC Edge system that has access to the internet. In the ztC Edge console, click Preferences in the left-hand navigation panel. On the Preferences page, click Product License. For online license registration and activation, click Register Online to open a new browser tab with the Stratus Registration Web Portal. Then, complete the registration web portal steps. On Step 1. Fill out the general information. On Step 2. The location information. Step 3. Fill in the contact details. And review the information. At Step 4, monitor the product license page of the ztC Edge console to confirm that the license automatically updates to a permanent license. When the status changes to license is activated and does not expire, registration is complete. If the license does not update successfully within 5 minutes, click Download License in the registration web portal to download the license key file, and continue with the next step. On the product license page of the ztC Edge console, under Install an activated license key to the system, click Choose File and navigate to the location where you saved the file. Select the file, click Open, and then click Upload to upload the file to the system. You should see an Uploaded Successfully message. Next to Status, Confirm that the license updates to a permanent license. When the status changes to license is activated and does not expire, registration is complete. We'll now see how to register a ztC Edge system that does not have access to the Internet. This section will walk you through the process of registering a ztC Edge system on a system without access to the Internet. If your ztC Edge system does not have Internet access, you need to move a file between the location of the ztC Edge console, which does not have Internet access, and a location with Internet access. The following procedure describes one method, though other methods are possible. On a computer with access to the ztC Edge console, insert a USB flash drive into a USB port. Log on to the ztC Edge console. Click Preferences in the left-hand navigation panel. On the Preferences page, click Product License. Beneath the Offline License Registration and Manual License Installation bar, under Step 1, Offline License Registration via URL File, click Download URL File. Save the license registration URL ztcedge.html file. By default, the file will be saved to the Downloads folder. Go to the location of the saved file and copy the file to the USB flash drive. Once successfully copied, remove the USB drive and take it to a system with Internet access. Next, in a location with Internet access, insert the USB drive into a USB port of the computer with Internet access. Navigate to the file you saved, and click the file name. A browser opens the file and is redirected to the Stratus Registration web portal. Complete the registration web portal steps. At Step 4, download the permanent license key file and save it to the USB drive. Remove the USB drive and return to the location with access to the ztC Edge console. Insert the USB drive into a USB port on the management PC. In the console, click Preferences in the left-hand navigation panel. On the Preferences page, click Product License. Beneath the Offline License Registration and Manual License Installation bar, on Step 2, install an activated license key to the system. Click Choose File and navigate to the location where you saved the license key file. Select the file, click Open, and then click Upload to upload the file to the system. You should see an Uploaded Successfully message. For status, you'll see that the expiration message goes away, and is replaced with the license is activated and does not expire message, and the expiration message in the masthead goes away. This completes the initial deployment training module. Thank you for viewing this module.